More. This one is less base. Speaking of police fucking around, there is a big drug marketplace on the dark web or Tor called Archetype Market that has been seized, and its administrator was arrested. He was arrested by the Polizei in Deutschland, yeah. But this was a joint effort between, I don't think it was explicitly given to Europol as credit, but it was a joint effort between the United States and a bunch of different European countries. And when they seize the domain, usually they put up these shitty little things that say, like, we are the government and we are very, very strong, expect us. But they went above and beyond, and they actually paid somebody to do a cyberpunk dystopian cartoon warning drug addicts and drug sellers that the government is actually really, really strong, stronger than previously expected.
I have always
at this government propaganda show.
been susceptible, especially when it comes to pleasure. Then I met this one guy.
Better to be someone for a day than no one for a lifetime.
I thought he was right, so I started my own biz. You only need a logo, a catchy name, a website, and most importantly, products everyone wants. It worked. And it felt good. But everything comes to an end.
If you're only listening, it's cyberpunk, but it's kind of like a cyberpunk like comic book style. It's hard to explain. It's like somewhat dynamic still images, or like animated, but like in a way that's really lazy is the best way to describe it. And it's just sort of like, look at how cool the police is. Oh no, the black guy. He figured out. He knows where he is. This is where he gets busted. They couldn't get voice actors for the police because, you know, the police have to protect their identity. They can't voice act the cartoons yet.
Something feels weird.
The Hetzen. What's the beacon? The Bundeskriminalamt. Oh, geez. Not the Bundeskriminalamt. Okay, so I got this is a little bit off topic, but there was something about that video that reminded me of. It's kind of spurgy, but when I remember, God, this game must have come out when I was like 17 or 16, and yeah, it's a weird game. It's called All Points Bulletin. It still exists, but it's completely mangled, and it didn't even make it out of beta. I remember playing this game in beta when I was like 17, and it was without a fucking doubt the most fun I ever had playing any game ever. It was like an open beta, and I played this game literally nonstop for an entire week. Like, I did not sleep. It was probably one of the only times I've ever played a game and to the point where I didn't eat or sleep. The other time was Space Station 13. When I first started playing Space Station, I just stopped eating for a week because I was too busy playing fucking Space Station. This game, All Points Bulletin, when it was in beta, was probably the most awesome game ever. And then right before it launched, they rushed the launch along, and they added progression, and that killed the game because it was a third person shooter. And when they added progression, they did not balance the weapons properly. So when it launched, there was suddenly inequality in like levels, and before there was none. Like, everybody had the exact same guns. The guns were literally perfectly mathematically balanced to absolute perfection. And then they added a progression system that literally just gave you more powerful guns as you progress. So there was like an inequality. And then they added like a fucking cash shop. I think that's why it was so bad. So they added a cash shop that lets you just buy better guns. So they had this amazing fucking game in beta that I played for like 100 hours in 1 week. And then they just destroyed it. And the game, I swear to God, it was like a $100 million game, which at the time was like the most expensive game ever fucking conceived. I think it was by Creative Realms. And within 1 month of this game launching, it crashed so fucking hard that they shuttered it. And it was one of the only times that it was an MMO FPS. It was like a very weird genre of game. And they shuttered that shit within a month. And I bring it up because it had one of the best styles, like artistic directions of any game ever made, ever. And I think I got the intro. I just want to play it to show you because this is driving me crazy. I'm like, this is just like fucking APB is what they're going for. Oh, that's the APB reloaded screen. I don't want that. 14 years ago. That sounds right. Is this? Can I load this? The original loading screen was like the best. Yeah. Is this it? It just had such good aesthetic to it. As like a cop game. It was like so ahead of its time, and you could like decorate your everything like to perfection. Like you could really like spend time spurging out about like your vehicle customization, your character customization, and it had license to all sorts of copyrighted music. I don't know how they accomplished this, but the radio channels were like on par with like Grand Theft Auto, where it was like the radio channels had like proper playlists of really, really, really good music. And that's how I found out about that song 1912 by like Wolfgang Amadeus or some whatever the fuck the name of that band is. And that's an awesome song. There's so many songs that I remember that I listened to this fucking day that I got from the playlist of this game that I played for 1 week before it completely imploded. And then they lost all their licenses to the music and stuff. So now if you play, it's like the music sucks, the fucking game sucks. It just sucks ass. Enforcer. I played Enforcer, and I played. Okay, this is also I have to explain. So the game is open, so it's like you have teams of 5v5 on a map of like 100 people, but it's open, and usually you can't shoot people that aren't in your game, but if you do really, really, really well and go on a hot streak, you hit notoriety or infamy 5. And that was like the best fucking thing ever. It was so fucking cool because this thing would flash on your screen and say, it would go like, woo, woo, woo. And lights would be flashing and it would be like, you hit 5. And if you hit 5, you can kill anybody in the fucking game and anybody can kill you. So in the middle of your mission, you hit 5 and then suddenly the entire map is hostile to you. And you can just go up to other people's missions as like notoriety 5 and just start blasting them to like fuck with their games and shit. It is so fucking fun. But I played a very specific game or playstyle that was less than lethal. And the other awesome thing about it is that it had open mics. So, you know, people could like crash into your car when you were in a chase that weren't your mission to fuck with your car. And then they could scream at you and shit through the microphone and like local chat. But when you played less than lethal, it was very difficult. And when you hit somebody out, they just kneeled. And then you would have to arrest them. And it was like a 10-second thing to put them in handcuffs. But it had local mic. So the entire time you're arresting them, you hear this guy screaming at you at the top of his fucking lungs about how you're a fucking whore and how he's gonna fucking kill you, or screaming for help on his team, like team. And it was like, if you actually played criminal, getting less than lethal arrested was the worst thing ever, because not only were you stunned and then took 10 seconds to be arrested, and then you were just like there because they could free you, but it took 30 seconds to get like before you would despawn while arrested. So then you were arrested for like 30 seconds and then you would have to respawn to the normal respawn timer. So you were out for like a full fucking minute. It was extremely infuriating. But when you're playing less than lethal cop, it was like pure fucking bliss to hear these people, usually some form of brown, screaming at you incomprehensibly in a foreign language. It was the most fucking fun I've ever had in a fucking game ever. It was actually amazing. So anyways, that's what I was reminded of. I would love this game. I would really love if I could go back in time and play that game for another week. You know what I mean? Just like I don't need it back in my life forever, but I would love one more week with the All Points Bulletin beta, because that was one of the. It was so fun, and because it was a closed beta that I somehow got an invite to, I was one of the few people in the world that got to experience that game at its actual peak. And I'm glad I did, chat, because it's fun. Um, it is terrible. Nobody plays it. It's not. It's literally not the same. If you didn't play the beta, you can't compare it to the current APB. It's not even close.
Thank you for watching this clip. This is Perspicacity. Remember to like and subscribe.